Hello, this is Janet Hayward, and I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I'm an online marketer, and I help people get the mindsets, tools that they need to help grow their business online. And today we're sort of going to punt a topic. I have been listening to Carolyn Meese and several other TED Talks today, and the main gist of it has been this concept of mental power, of mental strength, and the concept of individuality, the concept of how important it is for us to claim our own power, of how important it is for us to accept responsibility for our lives. And this just really struck me, so I thought that I would talk about this tonight, and because it is so important. It is so important. Mindset is so important with all of us as we're growing our business, and it doesn't really matter. You know, it is important for life. It is important if you want the fullest and richest life possible. And I certainly want you to know, I do talk about these topics, but I want you to know by no means do I do these things perfectly. So one of the concepts today was the importance of being able to celebrate other people's success. And I will admit, this is one of my weak areas. I have not reached the point where I fully rejoice with other people's success. You know, my inner being still feels jealousy and, you know, why not me and that kind of thing. Now, it is something that I am conscious of and I'm working on. But I think it's very important for me when I'm talking about mindset and these ideas that I certainly confess to my own barriers and limitations, because it's important to be honest. I mean, that's part of what this is all about, mental strength, being true to ourselves, being honest, being living a life of integrity. All of these things are so important. And so I feel it's important for me to go ahead and admit to my failings, the places that I have not quite reached there. And there's many more. That is just one of them. So anyhow, this idea of mental strength. And I heard several of these talks, and one of them is this woman who had several tragedies occur in her life. And she talked about how important it was to have the mental strength and to develop it when things are going good in your life. Because when you need it as your fallback position is when things are going bad in your life. And that made a lot of sense to me. You know, how important it is to start working the mental thought system. Another one of the speakers talked about how mental strength is like exercising our physical bodies. You know, we start practicing the activities, we start practicing the thought systems of mental strength, of congruency, of authenticity, because we want to strengthen those muscles so that when times get bad, it is our fallback position. So our fallback position is not to blame others when life does not go as planned, to participate in an active an attitude of victimhood. You know, why me? Why is this happening to me? Life is not fair. No, it's not. Nothing personal, but it's not. It's just the way it is. You know, to develop some strength of inner being and to be able to face the perturbations in life with equanimity. You know, and it does require practice. You know, I very, very consciously now practice an attitude of gratitude even when life is not going well. In fact, especially when life is not going well. to continue to trust the universe, that's my name for God, the universe to give me what I need when I need it. And in fact, this morning, or maybe yesterday, I've had the thought that, I'm right on the cusp of some things. And I had the thought, you know what? It may be that the thing holding you back is you. And when I had that thought, it caused me to start paying attention to my thought systems, start paying attention to what I was thinking, start paying attention to what I was saying, start paying attention to find out where do I have a faulty thought pattern. And then we get what we need, don't we? So I heard these talks today. And this concept of mental strength, this concept of being true to yourself, this concept of being willing to be who you are. And so it's worth paying attention to. Is this an area that I need to improve on? And certainly one area I certainly know and I'm working on improving is to fully rejoice at the success of others rather than flipping into that sense of lack within myself. And it's very important that we're honest with ourselves. When we're fucking up in our thought patterns, we need to admit it. And just move on. We don't need to wallow in it. We don't need to share it with the world, which I am, but for a point. But we don't need to bemoan it. We don't need to discuss it. We don't need to psychoanalyze it. We don't need to do that. What we need to do is change it. You find out, you see what your faulty thought patterns are, and then just change it. If I see I have a weak bicep, it is not going to help me to bemoan my weak bicep. No, what do? I pick up some weights and I start doing bicep curls. The same thing when we have a faulty thought pattern. If I find I have a inner sense where I'm not fully participating and rejoicing in somebody else's success, what do? Start acting as if. Start just rejoicing in their success. And do it again and again and again and again. And pretty soon, the heart will move with the mind. And that's how to get there. Just exercise your mental strength. And one of the authors talked about this concept she created, that people have, oftentimes they have either a superiority complex or an inferiority complex. So both of those situations, let me make sure I've got my notes. Both of those situations, you're comparing yourself to others. I had to make some notes for myself. Both of those situations, you're comparing yourself to others. So a superiority complex, you are comparing yourself to others as if you are above them, you are better than them. And an inferiority complex, you are comparing yourself to others as if you are below them, you are less than. And she suggested that we work toward an interiority attitude. In other words, an attitude of coming from within us, an attitude where we compare ourselves only to ourselves. We compare ourselves today to us from yesterday. Am I doing better? Am I improving? And that's what we do. So the only one we're competing with is ourselves. We are the only standard that we have to decide what is, so that we come into the fullness of our being. We are true to ourselves. We are living by our standards. standards. We are authentic to ourselves. We are congruent. The things that I say and teach are the things that I do. And that is very important. And that's why for myself, I admit to not doing all of these things perfectly, but I do live my beliefs. And that is so very, very important. It is so very important to have integrity, that you uphold the truth within you, to be authentic, to be who you say you are, and to be congruent, to have your behaviors match your words. So it appears that my husband has arrived and we are going to take a walk. I thank you all for listening to me tonight, and thank you for providing me the opportunity to just verbalize these thoughts that came into my world through these TEDx talks. Because oftentimes through the verbalization, it helps to gel this information more solidly within. And if this was helpful, if you got value out of this talk, please give me some thumbs up, some hearts. You can even give an angry face if you want, if it makes you angry. But let me know if this was of value. Leave a comment. And I thank you all. And I'll be glad to see you tomorrow. And have a great day. Thanks. Bye.